Welcome to my channel, USA Battle Zone. Tonight, I want to take you deep into a story that will test your faith in justice, loyalty, sacrifice, and the true meaning of honor. It is a story about a Navy SEAL who gave everything: her health, her future, and her dreams to defend her country. A warrior who bled for the flag. A fighter who stared death in the eyes more times than most of us can imagine. And yet, after all she had endured, after all she had given, a single courtroom judge decided she was not worthy of wearing the silver star she had earned in battle. But the story did not end there. No, that decision, cold, cruel, and unjust, sparked a chain of events that would change everything. Because this SEAL, broken in body but not in spirit, refused to bow down. And in the end, it would not be her career that was destroyed. It would be his. So sit back, take a deep breath, because this isn't just a military story. This is a story about courage, about betrayal, and about redemption. She was known among her team as Iron Heart. Not because she was the strongest physically, though she could outlast most men in the gym, but because she had a spirit that refused to shatter. From the day she entered BUD/S, the grueling SEAL training pipeline, she was tested at every level. She was told she wouldn't make it, that her body wasn't built for it, that the battlefield was no place for her. But she did not quit. Through Hell Week, through freezing waters, through carrying boats on her head until her shoulders were raw and bloody, she pushed. And when her body screamed for mercy, her soul screamed louder: never give in. And in Afghanistan, when the firefight broke out in the valley, that same spirit turned into action that saved lives. Her unit had been ambushed. Gunfire rained down from the ridgeline. A Humvee was struck, and 3 men were pinned. Without hesitation, she charged forward under fire. She laid down cover, dragged one wounded brother out of the kill zone, and then went back again and again until everyone was out. For that day, for that courage, for risking everything without thought of herself, she was awarded the Silver Star. One of the nation's highest honors for valor. But what came after was darker than anything she had faced in combat. Because on her return home, her injuries began to catch up with her. The shrapnel in her leg, the nerve damage in her spine, the hearing loss from the blasts, all of it added up. Soon, she was medically retired, disabled, fighting every day just to walk without agony. Still, she wore her silver star with quiet pride. Not to boast, not to parade it, but because it reminded her of the lives she saved, of the brothers she would never leave behind. And then out of nowhere it was taken. The order came down in the cold language of bureaucracy. A military judge had ruled that her actions in the valley were exaggerated. That her role had been overstated. That the Silver Star, once pinned on her chest by her commanding officer, was no longer hers to claim. She sat in that courtroom, her cane resting by her side, her heart pounding in disbelief. As the judge read his order, she felt as though every sacrifice, every scar, every nightmare she carried had been erased. The men she saved were not asked to testify. Her teammates who had bled beside her were ignored. It was a ruling built on paper, on politics, on whispers of resentment that a disabled SEAL, a woman, had dared to stand shoulder to shoulder with the best of the best. When it was over, she walked out without a word. Her silver star stripped, her honor tarnished, her spirit burning with quiet rage. But that judge had made a mistake. He thought she would fade away. He thought her silence meant defeat. He was wrong. In the months that followed, she began to gather evidence. Not for herself but for the truth. She spoke with her teammates. She collected statements, battlefield reports, mission logs. And what she uncovered wasn't just proof of her own valor. It was proof of corruption. The judge who stripped her of her medal, he wasn't the impartial figure he pretended to be. Behind closed doors, he had made deals. He had manipulated cases. And worst of all, he had buried misconduct, real misconduct, from men under his command, while making her a scapegoat. One night, staring at the faded scars on her hands, she made a decision. She would fight back, not with bullets, not with force, but with the one weapon left to her, the truth. She went to Congress. She went to the press. And finally, when doors kept closing in her face, she went to the court of public opinion. She told her story. She laid out the evidence. Piece by piece, detail by detail, she painted a picture of injustice so raw, so undeniable, that it spread like wildfire. Veterans stood with her. Gold Star families stood with her. Even men who once doubted her now came forward to say, "She saved me. She earned it." The pressure grew, and with it, the cracks around that judge widened. Investigations began. His record was pulled apart. And soon, the truth spilled into the light. He had mishandled cases, silenced witnesses, and abused his power. The very man who tried to erase her honor now faced disgrace. And then it happened. He was removed. His career, built over decades, was finished. The same system that had turned its back on her now turned on him. When she heard the news, she did not celebrate. She did not dance on his downfall. Instead, she sat quietly with her medal returned to her at last and whispered the names of the men she had saved. Because for her, it was never about revenge. It was about honor, about truth, about making sure no other warrior, no other brother or sister in arms, would ever be robbed of what they had earned. And yet, in the end, her fight did more than restore a medal. It reminded the world of something far greater, that honor is not given by a courtroom or taken by a judge. It is carved in sacrifice, written in blood, and carried forever in the hearts of those who stand when others fall. The story of this disabled SEAL is not just military history. It is a human story. A reminder that courage does not end on the battlefield. That sometimes, the hardest battles are fought long after the guns fall silent. She still lives with pain every day. She still wakes in the night, haunted by memories that never fade. But when she looks at the silver star, hanging once again in its rightful place, she knows it is more than metal. It is proof that she never gave in. That justice, no matter how long it takes, will find its way through the darkness. And for the judge who tried to take everything from her, his name is forgotten, his career is gone, but hers will be remembered. Because she is Iron Heart. She is the warrior who would not bow. And her story will live forever. Thank you for watching this story on USA Battle Zone. If you felt her pain, if you admired her courage, if you believe that honor should never be stripped from those who earn it, then let this story stay with you. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Because together, we will continue to tell the stories of America's warriors, the victories, the struggles, and the battles no one sees. Until next time, stay strong, stay free, and never forget those who gave everything for the flag we love.